I'm going to start off with this, and I'm going to be very straightforward and see if I can get to the point. Biden announced today, along with the vice president, that he's going to be running again. Okay? And invariably, that was met by a cacophony of laughter on the part of a lot of people who think that for some reason he can't win or won't win, or they don't necessarily have a Republican in mind, but they just know that Joe Biden will not win. Can't win because he's old and befuddled and he's a dotard and he's a senescent and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, if you believe that and you don't want him to win, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. What the Republicans do is, Democrats do first, is they stick together. They don't make any bones about doing whatever. They stick together. You understand what I'm saying? They stick together. And they will all go along and they'll say, wonderful. Remember Bernie Sanders? They were upset, but they went with Hillary Clinton. They held their nose, they went with Hillary Clinton. If it's Pelosi, if it's Steny Hoyer, if it's one of the old guard, they go with them 100%. They don't buck the system. They are unified. They are condensed. They are focused. And they have one mindset. These people are serious. They are not to be trifled with, not to be played with, not to be in any way dismissed. You don't think they're of any significance. You don't care for them, so you just laugh. Because he's old and he's befuddled and he's senescent and he's wizened and hobbled by decrepitude, and she laughs a lot and she's goofy, and right? And this is what the Republicans think, and they think that somehow that's the strategy. But they stick together and they stick to the plan. And whatever it is, they say, okay, that's it. Republicans, different story. Republicans, they don't like anybody. They don't like, there's the Trump group, and there's the DeSantis group, and there's a Nikki Haley group, and there's the Mike Pence group, and then there's this guy and that guy. And then they couldn't even decide on Kevin McCarthy. And you got the MTG. She's the wild group in the middle, right? And then there's the Gates group and the Boberts. And now, as a spinoff of this Tucker business, you're going to be hearing the conspiracy lunatic fringe of this particular contingent. Let me tell you something. The Republicans are the worst politicians. They don't understand politicking. Watch very carefully what Joe Biden's speech is. Watch what his message is going to be. What is it? January 6th. January 6th, dissent, this effrontery to the Constitution, to law and order, sedition, insurrection, just a horrible, radicalized, evil, mean-spirited, white national, whatever you want, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. That's what they're going to say. And abortion. They're going to make a big deal about abortion. They're going to say that if you vote Democrat, a woman's right to choose will be removed. They're going to say that the Republicans lauded and leapt to their feet in rapt ecstasy over the fact that a woman's right to choose, even though you may not think it is, was somehow removed and ablated and made unnecessary and impossible. That's what we're talking about right now. Listen to what they say and kind of guide and frame your attack, if you will. This is the way. Now, whether it's true or not is another story. You could argue it's not true, it's exaggerated. Okay, what you're going to say, the Democrats are going to say, is also exaggerated. But make no mistake, the Republicans are not going to learn from this. They don't learn from their errors. They just think that, well, we're right. And the Tucker Carlson case, the Tucker Carlson story, speaks to so many forces and contingencies and groups of people. Do you think, I don't want to bring this up, God forbid, but the Anheuser-Busch Bud Light ad, What do you think that was? Do you think that was a mistake? Do you believe this story that some rogue Democrat, ESG, DEI, lefty lunatic came up with that without the approval of Fox News? Did you ever think that Tucker Carlson spoke on his own rogue, and that Rupert Murdoch says, well, I don't know, blimey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We better fire him because he's going off half-cocked. No, they could have stopped him any time. This happened as of late. This is getting ready for the 2024 elections. Let me tell you something. It's going to be a bloodbath. And I'm going to say this again. If you think that Joe Biden is out of the question, if you think that he can't win round two, if you think, and I'm not getting into any accusations yet of alleged voter or voting or election denial or whatever it is, because let me explain something. If you are going to say that an election was stolen, you got to have some proof, not isolated cases. Well, this was bad here. Okay, that was one case. Or this documentary I saw. No. See, that's another thing. There's this confused inability to understand the difference between probable cause and reasonable doubt. They think that if they find one case, that suspicion regarding this precinct somehow allays or references doubt as to the entire process. You listen to me very carefully. I know what I'm talking about. Lionel merchandise, by the way. Listen to me very carefully. I am telling you right now, in my opinion, my prediction is that it will be Gavin Newsom. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Joe Biden would, if he steps out of the election prior to, if he is inaugurated, if he is sworn in on January the 21st, 2025, or January 20th, I should say, then, and he were to quit, then it goes to the Vice President, Kamala Harris. And that's a whole nother discussion which we'll have. But in the meantime, if he somehow switches, if there's a switcheroo on the ticket, because Gavin Newsom, in my opinion, would be the perfect standard bearer, bellwether, poll star, whatever you want to call it, of the Democratic Party. He has looks, age, savoir-faire. He understands the lingo, media savvy, camera ready to go. And and against DeSantis is a very bright man, 44 years old, great governor of Florida, absolutely without peer in terms of how good he is. But he is not at all ready for this. So let me just leave you with this. Let me not belabor the point, which I have a tendency of doing, and I'm working on that. If you think Joe Biden cannot be reelected, irrespective of what you believe his degree of senescence is, you are absolutely mistaken. Be careful, and get ready for a gunfight. Theoretically, a figurative OK Corral type of showdown. Please, figuratively. It's an expression. I don't mean, see where we are post Tucker? Please, I don't mean that was an expression. I didn't mean it. Okay, you got that? Now do me a favor. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. And please, I want to hear what you think. I want you to give me your opinion and comment as you see fit.